What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Billy Dangerous, back again with another episode of 1430. Thank you for watching. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure you stay tuned for all the goodness we have here on 1430. Please leave a comment. I am always in the comment, whether it's a healthy or unhealthy debate. I'm going to go back and forth with y'all. Because no matter positive or negative, the feedback is always appreciated. Now, I'm in front of you today talking about something I really didn't want to talk about for two reasons. One, the last week has just been a headache between the inauguration itself, TikTok's banned and unbanned, and I was one of the idiots that deleted the app off my phone. So until ByteDance decides to sell or not, I can't even get on TikTok anyway. So the unbanned ain't even really applied to me yet. Besides that stuff, I had some personal stuff going on with the family, some day job, 9-to-5 stuff that was weighing heavy on my head. All of this is going on around the same time. And I could be completely blunt with you. This was the last thing on my mind. The second reason, and the reason why this was the last thing on my mind, was that I really don't care. And I don't care not in the way that Stephen A. Smith will try to defend this or Charlamagne will try to defend this. I don't care because I do not expect much from the likes of Snoop, Nelly, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy. I don't understand what anybody who is feeling some type of way really expects out of guys that show you exactly who they are. And they've been showing you exactly who they are their entire careers. They have always been about the bag. They've always been about money. The dollar is more important than your black ass. And you are only important because you give them money or they make money off of you. Nothing about Nelly, Snoop, Rick Ross, and especially Soulja Boy through their entire careers would say that they would have the backbone or, self-respect or dignity or obligation to the culture to where they would turn down a bag coming from anywhere, let alone the next administration going into the White House. I was a little irritated by Snoop's response to the backlash only because of the four rappers that were involved. He was the one that during the first term of Donald Trump, he was the most vocal when it came to people performing at the inauguration.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo is gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? Osby's the one that performs for himself.
Justice for Chrisette Michele. I really hate that people did her the way they did. I want to get that out of the way early because, I don't agree with anybody performing at the inauguration, to be real. But seeing how Chrisette Michele was treated versus other very vocal supporters of Trump, I just thought that was completely unfair. And a big part of that, let's just be honest, a big part of that was because she was a woman. But you can't even really say that because Sexy Red is also a vocal Trump supporter. But I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that she's not a household name in the black community like that, which sucks because her music is dope. I've always been a big fan of the stuff that she's done. So to see people kind of dismiss her was disheartening for me. But to be honest, it just kind of comes down to what's more convenient for a lot of folks. People shitted on Chrisette Michele because she was not as big as a Kanye, or she's not the new hot thing like a Sexy Red, or just quite frankly, we're not really expecting much out of a Kodak Black, or we're not expecting much out of a Rick Ross or a Soulja Boy. We're not expecting much out of them. So of course, when it comes to tossing them aside, we don't care. It reminds me of what happened with Daniel Caesar when he jumped out of the window to defend Yes Jules for what, I don't know. I don't even know what situation led to that. I just remember him going on IG Live or something saying, yo, go ahead and cancel me. And everybody stayed on code and they did.
And you can cancel me. I'm making music right now. I'll put it out. You guys don't have to listen to it. Cancel me. Make me broke.
And this man has still put out music. Like, he's not completely fell off the face of the earth, but it's nowhere near to where he was before that happened. And in a way, I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of us. Because we said, yo, that man really said, I'm going to be the shield for this little white girl who never spoke in his defense when people just completely abandoned him in the black community. She never spoke up for this man. His career tanked to defend her, and she never defended him. That is crazy. But anyway, that's what it kind of reminds me of. So when I see the outrage of people online, and they are like, we getting rid of Snoop, we getting rid of Rick Ross, we getting rid of Soulja Boy, we're getting rid of Nelly. Do it. That's just my response. It's like, I won't be supporting them. I never was a Soulja Boy fan. I like a little bit of Rick Ross's stuff. Have not listened to Nelly since like the early mid 2000s, to be honest. And he was one of my favorite rappers as a kid before I really knew what rap was like that. Him and Luda were like the first two rappers that I gravitated to, just because their music was like really fun for a 6-7-year-old kid. And I even shouted them out on Mama's Cutlass for my album Dream Till It's Over. I talked about how they were my first favorite rappers. But it's not like I've gone back and listened to much of anything from Nelly since then, except for the big hits. They put on Hot in Here, they put on Hot Shit, they put on Ride With Me. I'm gonna be listening to it, but I don't seek it out. I don't seek it out like I do other albums and artists from that time period. And Snoop is probably the one I probably listen to the most. I had the Missionary album with him and Dr. Dre downloaded when it came out last month. I did not listen to it the entire time. I would see people talk about it. Some people had mixed reviews. Some people said it was really dope for them. Dr. Dre's production. Say what you want about the man. His production, his mixing has never really diminished. His output, when you take the songs in totality, may not be the same, but you never question him excuse me, behind the boards. And they say, Snoop was on form. I mean, and honestly, he ain't really been slacking with the stuff that I have heard from him. He's put out a lot of music, so I haven't heard everything, but anytime I do catch it, like it's pretty solid. So yeah, like tossing them aside ain't really gonna be that difficult for me. And I think that's the part that irks me about it. Cause it's the same thing with R. Kelly. It's the same thing with Tory Lanez. It's the same thing with Kanye West when he was going on his little manic episode and he put on the MAGA hat. Like, I need everybody to understand that you gotta be on code. You gotta mean that shit. Like, I'm tired of the outrage. I'm tired of everybody being mad right now, and then like maybe down the line, like Snoop does something cute or whatever with Martha Stewart, him with the convicted felon or whatever, like they're gonna do something cute and everybody's gonna completely forget about it. Rick Ross is gonna start dissing Drake again and everybody's gonna forget about it. Soulja Boy's gonna do some funny little clown shit like he does every once in a while to keep himself relevant, and everybody's gonna like forget all about it. And Nelly and Ashanti are gonna do something cute. They're gonna show the baby pictures and everybody's gonna be like, what we mad about again? Like, that's what it's gonna turn into. And that's the part that irritates me. Stand on that shit. Like, I used to be, contrary to what other people might say, I actually do enjoy watching football. And especially those seasons when it looked like the Panthers was going to be something, when Cam Newton was the quarterback. Like, I was really into it then. And then the Kaepernick stuff happened. And I just stopped watching the NFL. And it wasn't a protest. It wasn't me going, oh, man, I'm going to do this until they fix this. And then I'm going to be a fan again. I'm going to start watching again. No, I just don't support things that disrespect me. I stopped listening to Kanye West, and Kanye West is one of my biggest inspirations. He's one of the main reasons why I got behind the boards and started making beats myself. Like, he really inspired me from College Dropout all the way up to Yeezus. I always say Life of Pablo is a little overrated, but he is like a guy that, his talent and his story has been so inspiring. I have so much reverence for what he's done for music and the culture as a whole. And I stopped listening to him because I don't support people who disrespect me. When he said slavery was a choice, I felt so deeply hurt and disrespected, I could not listen to anything that had Kanye attached to it. And that's not me standing on no pedestal, like, you know, on my soapbox. That's not me getting on my high horse. That is just me saying, you disrespected me, I don't fuck with you. I don't buy H&M. When they disrespect that little black boy, putting him in on that monkey hoodie or whatever that was. I don't respect that. And I will stand on that. And I feel like, you know, the performative outrage, you know, needs to stop. Either we're going to stand on it or we don't. Like, a line is going to be drawn in the next 4 years. I already let it be known, you know, if it's surrounding Trump, maybe hip-hop related like this video is, I'll talk about it. But for the most part, I don't want to talk about Trump because doing all this talking about Trump didn't stop him from winning again. Doing all this talking about what could happen if he became president again didn't stop him from becoming president again. We're just gonna have to deal with the consequences of that decision as a country. We're gonna have to deal with that. And I don't feel like educating, you know, people that already know. I already know how the algorithm works. Most of the time, I'm probably talking to people who already know and already stand on that shit and wasn't gonna vote for him or wasn't gonna support what that administration does. I already know those people, we on the same accord. Like, you're probably watching this and we're all on the same accord. The people who needed to hear this didn't get it, didn't get the message. Like, for the people that's like, yo, they doing this. Like, Nelly comparing himself to, you know, him shucking and jiving for the administration. He gonna compare that to being a soldier.
The same way that our men and women, our brothers and sisters who protect this country have to go to war and have to put their life on the line for whoever in office. So if they can put their life on the line for whoever in office, I can damn sure perform for whoever in office.
Like, that's corny. That's corny. Like, Stephen A. Smith tried to say that, well, Snoop didn't perform for Trump. He was performing for, you know, his crypto bro that's going to be the crypto czar for the new administration. Trump wasn't even at the crypto bowl. Soulja Boy talk about, well, hey, Biden never called me. Obama never called me, but Trump did.
Nigga, they pay me a bag, nigga. Obama ain't never put no money in my fucking pockets, nigga. Kamala ain't never put no money in my motherfucking pockets, nigga. Trump put money in my pockets, nigga.
That kind of speaks more to his like, you know, selection of niggas that he could, you know, trot out there to be like, see, black people, don't be too mad at me. Here's your favorite niggas I got on stage. That kind of just shows more that he didn't really have much to choose from. I don't really think you should brag about that. Because Beyonce pulled up for Obama. And nigga, you ain't Beyonce. The best he could do was Soulja Boy and Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg will do anything for a check. We all know this. That man will put his face on cereal. He will put himself on deodorant. He will do little kids cartoons. He don't care about none of that shit, none of that gangster image shit. He don't care about none of that. And for a long time, we loved him for that. You know, he could go from having a murder case at the beginning of his career to hanging out with Martha Stewart. I ain't heard nothing from Rick Ross, but I think it's going to be along the same lines of they called me and I showed up. I don't understand what you expect from, you know, Rick Ross did the, you ain't even know it, the verse. Soulja Boy is a meme. He is a joke. He is a clown. He is a guy that got 15 minutes of fame that has lasted way longer than it should have. It's like when you buy bananas, you know how fast bananas expire. Bananas will expire in like 2 or 3 days. Now imagine if you kept them bananas around for a year. You think about how nasty that would be. Like, it would get all mushy and stank and it would basically turn into a puddle. That's what it feel like with Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy got popping in 2006 because of MySpace. MySpace ain't even around no more. And look, I'll give you credit. You were a pioneer. You were able to use the internet in a way that people are still copying that formula for success to this very day. Can't take that away from you. Being first don't necessarily mean that you're worth celebrating. You know what I mean? Like, he been kind of riding that, like, yo, I was the first one to do this, I was the first one to do that. Okay, cool. You were the first one there. So many people have done it so much better. So many people have done it so much better. So many people have taken the thing you've done and they built on it. It was like you put down a couple bricks, but they don't mean you built a skyscraper. Just because you laid down a couple bricks and went home. And when it comes to Nelly, like Nelly's actually been a country artist longer than he's been a rap artist at this point. Like he's been kind of like, what is it, like the Georgia, Florida line, whatever that group is. Like he's been kind of rocking with them for a good little bit, and has been doing a lot of music with them. We don't know about it because they're not in our atmosphere. They're not in our bubble of our pop culture bubble like that. So we don't know that. But I had to look. I'm like, wow, this man has put out a lot of music with them. Has worked with them a lot and toured with them a lot. He's been with them good old boys for a minute. Like he said, Nelly's never been political figure. Snoop, he was vocal at times, but when I think about it, I'm like, Snoop was only vocal when it was trendy. It was, beneficial to him in a financial way to speak up during the George Floyd, Breonna Taylor protests, to speak against Donald Trump, because he knew that the people who supported him and he was still making money off of was opposed to this administration. So it was financially beneficial to speak up and speak out against anybody that would attach themselves to the administration. But now he's at a point in his career, maybe he feels like he's uncancelable. Maybe he feels like, I've made enough money to where it don't matter what I do at this point. Maybe the bag was just too big to ignore, and any other financial hit that he could take from the administration, supporting the administration, the bag was big enough to where, it outweighed that financial blow that he could get. And I seen that Rick Ross got some kind of tax lien in Georgia, and I know Soulja Boy needs some money. So that's the thing. Actually, the one thing that irks me about this still is the fact that everybody's making, all of these reasonings behind it. Nigga, just say you wanted the bag. Just say you wanted the bag. Say you wanted to get paid. Say that, then they offered me this amount of money. How am I supposed to not? And I think that kind of just goes back to my main point of why I don't care and why I'm preaching this stuff. Stand on it. If you're really mad about it, don't just get online with all this selective outrage and you forget about it in a couple months. Because we live in a culture where we only care about the bag. Hip hop has only cared about the bag for so long. And now you mad that them niggas picked the bag. They don't care about you as much as they care about them dollars. People are talking about this Target protest. And I don't even shop at Target. Shit overpriced anyway. I don't really see a reason to go in there. My wife likes to go to Target. So that's the only reason why you will ever catch me in Target. But everybody talking about this protest, and then there's hey, but they have a lot of black business owners and the black creators that sell out of there. And then I saw a post where somebody said, yo, it's a black millionaire telling you guys, you poor and disenfranchised guys, the people that will be mostly affected by them rolling back their policies. These black millionaires are telling you, no, don't stop spending money there so I can stay a millionaire. And that perfectly sums it up. We're over here with our regular 9-to-5 jobs. We over here barely scraping by, majority of us. And these people who are so disconnected from the average person's everyday struggles are telling you to keep supporting them so they can keep getting to the bag. For a long time, because I talk about this all the time, hip-hop is in the place that it's in right now because we valued the bag over culture. We don't want you to talk about political things. It's boring. It's depressing. Nigga, have some fun. Get to the bag. I want to hear about you getting to the bag. I want to hear about you hustling. I want to hear about you trapping. I want to hear about how you about to, hustle your way out of this thing. Nothing else mattered. Self-respect didn't matter. Dignity didn't matter. Respect for women didn't matter. Speaking up about social injustice didn't matter. Only thing that mattered was the bag. Well, now you got it. You have rappers that don't care about shit but the bag. And it's the thing, that's one of the things that made hip-hop special, was that hip-hop spoke about these things. Hip-hop spoke about what was going on in the world. And then y'all stripped that away because it made white people uncomfortable. That's how you got to the bag. You had to appeal to white folks. You had to appeal to white fans to get to the bag. And now they got it. But now they don't care about you. So that's my take on this. whole situation. If you're really mad and you really want these people to suffer, be about it. They performed at the inauguration last week. Well, I mean, they're still out here. They're still out here hustling. They're still out here gonna be making money. I hear that Nelly got a tour coming up in the summer. If you really mad, don't go. Rick Ross put out new music. Don't listen to it. Soulja Boy has another like money scheme, and he tells you how he's the first rapper to, I don't know, sell like commercial crack or something. I don't know. And don't buy it. Whatever you do, don't listen to the next Snoop project. Don't buy the next Snoop sponsored nothing if you're really about it. And if you still gonna support him, shut the fuck up. Just accept that you are not as important as the bag. But that's my time. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. It's been your boy Vinny Dangerous, 1430. Much love.